Hello YouTube, welcome back. We missed you. I'm the Anzac Gamer, also known as Angelite85, and welcome back to what I have decided to call the Astroquest. My Minecraft series based on the mod pack MoonQuest that is done by the Astroquest. In the description below is a link, as always, to where you can also pick up the mod pack yourself. I highly recommend checking it out if you want to be able to, play essentially the mod pack that the Astroquest are playing. It is, however, not the same mod pack. I'm just going to put you guys out there now. It is actually a different mod pack to what they're using. There's a couple of different mods in there that well, there's a couple of mods in here that they don't have, and I'm pretty sure there's a couple of mods that they're using that is not in this pack. Yeah, now unfortunately I had a little bit of an unfortunate incident happen a couple of days ago. As I was about to sit down and edit up the second and third episode of the series, the hard drive died, which had the raw data on. So you're going to see a few things in here that I did actually talk about and show what I was doing and everything like that here. First off, I have a farm for my food. A little farm. It's a little farm. I'm not one that likes to farm all that often, so you may end up seeing me add a mod that's not in here. Which is going to be Steve's carts. Oh, yeah. As you can see, I've got a couple of cacti. I went on a massive adventure to get the cacti. I found it, brought it back here and planted it. The other thing that you'll notice here is that I have 3 furnaces now. At the moment they are smelting down my marble so that I can turn it into marble brick, which will be used as my foundation for the factory that I'll be building over that way. Also here, as you can see, I have a Buildcraft pump feeding a steam dynamo out of thermal expansion going into the pulverizer, and on top of the pulverizer I have a hopper, and then I have a gold chest sitting next to it. Now for those of you, and obviously these Buildcraft pipes, cobblestone pipes here coming out of the bottom and going into the chest. For those of you that are unfamiliar, obviously the pulverizer pulverizes the ores down and you get double the ore production out of it. Now as you can see, I have pulverized tin and iron and copper, and I've got some pulverized gold due to the byproduct of copper. Now I am slowly going through and essentially getting this all broken down into a unified ore, as it were. Now I don't know. So you will forgive me if something's not right. That should have been feeding. Never mind. I've got a hopper that's not doing its job. Never mind. It's quite possible that it doesn't. Oh, there we go. Okay, I get it now. It's got a redstone. I'm unfamiliar with the vanilla hoppers. Do forgive me for that one. So yeah. So as you can see, I have a hopper on top of my pulverizer, which is feeding my pulverizer and then outputting, and then the pulverizer is outputting the dust into here. I get two for every ore. I get a byproduct out of most ores, so iron, I believe, gives me some pulverized ferrous. Lead will actually give me silver. Silver gives me lead. Tin gives you a chance for iron, and copper gives you a chance for gold. Yeah. Anyway. So, yeah. So that's what I was doing in those previous episodes, I was getting this done, and we were doing all this, and obviously got the iron chest over here, and as I said, I'm smelting down some marble to make some marble brick. Now, over here, I believe, yes, over here, I was digging out the foundations. Well, digging out an area for my foundations for my first floor of my facility. Now, this will be part of my compound, maybe. I don't know. As you can see, the waypoint here says base 1. I was planning on going for a little bit more of an excursion and finding maybe a nice flat area with, or a nicer area to be, because over here we've got the big cabin, as it were, down here, but in all honesty, I think I might just do it here, and here will be fine. So yeah. Obviously, the easiest way for me to be doing this really would be to use a buildcraft filler in clearing mode and just mapping out what the area that I want cleared, but that requires me to build buildcraft engines, which I'd very quickly build a Stirling, because I mean, I could easily go and get some oil, or find some oil, I should say, and build from that. I don't think I've got a big enough flooring. But yeah. So as that there is clear enough, I think. Now down here is actually my mine. Eventually I'm going to go down there. I'm going to try and find some diamonds, so that I can build a quarry. You've changed your armor. You had iron armor on. How did you change to glowstone armor? Anyway. Oh dear, the sun's going down on another day in Minecraft here. So, yeah. So, unfortunately, you don't see me doing all this, and I do apologise for that. It's circumstances that was out of my control, and yeah, the intent was that you did get to see all this, but as I said, the unfortunate circumstance, it's technology. And one of my favourite sayings out of one of my favourite movies is, even in the future, nothing fucking works. So, I mean, who knows, I might get lucky and I might be able to recover the lost data, and they will make their way as a special, wow, I really love the texture of this stuff. Anyway, so it may make their way to the channel, and you'll get to see what it was that I was doing and what it was that I was talking about and stuff like that. Speaking of which, I must tell you, for all of you people out there that have read Ender's Game and have yet to see the movie because you're unsure of seeing the movie, do yourself a favour, don't. For the love of God, don't. I don't know what it is, but the movie was fucked up. It was completely and utterly, I don't know what it was, but they screwed it. They screwed the pooch on this one. The movie, the book pretty much should have written the movie itself. I've read the Ender Saga a number of times. Ender's Game, Speaker of the Mind, Xenocide, Speaker of the Dead, Xenocide, and Children of the Mind. I have read those books so many times, it is not funny. Don't ask me to quote things out of it because it has been a number of years since I last read them, and lately I've been reading Peter F. Hamilton again. But all I can say is I am highly disappointed in this movie. I really am. The things that they could have done, well, the things, it's not that they could have done, the things that they should have done is, one, the things that they didn't do, and I'm sorry, spoiler alert people, so those of you that really want to watch the movie, I suggest you block your ears right now and just yeah. Anyway, so in the beginning of the movie, what they should have done is they showed a massive battle with Mazarakan doing his thing. By the way, as a side note, Ben Kingsley, fantastic New Zealand accent, and I do love the fact that he had the muka on his face. That was brilliant. I do, however, admittedly, he did go to the sort of South African side every now and again, but I'm not going to hold that against him. I am not going to hold that against him at all. And I do love the fact that he sort of referenced the book Speak for the Dead a little bit, or referenced a little bit of the background on that one, where he said, where he was talking about the muka on his face, where he said, this is off, for I did this for my father, it's my way of speaking for the dead. So that was how he did that, and that was brilliant. I love the fact that he did that. It was really cool. I was actually quite surprised that they ended up doing Mazarakan as a Kiwi. Because I don't recall them ever giving Orson Scott Card ever giving Mazer a race or a nationality, I should say. So I was actually quite surprised that they ended up going with a New Zealander side of things. But anyway, so as I said, we've got Mazarakan flying as what looks to be an F-35 into battle against against the Formic. Now, they do say it's the Formic Wars, but in Battle School they reference it as the Bugger Wars, because these things look like bugs. Fair enough. Then we cut to Ender having a battle with a big kid, playing a game with a kid, and he's and what have you. And I'm like, okay, well, it's been a while since I read the book, so I'll let that one slide. But then I think they don't. There's a scene in there where we don't know why. They don't explain why Ender is called Ender. You sort of have to, it's sort of assumed that he's like, he's the youngest, he's the third child, so he gets the nickname of Ender, when his real name is Andrew Wiggin. And we see Valentine and we see Peter. We get introduced to Peter and Valentine. We play. Do you remember how to play the astronauts? And anyway, but one of the things that I just can't let it slide is I just can't let it slide is the fact that they didn't explain why Ender was born, for one. Now, anybody that's read the books, and this is a spoiler, Ender was... basically, what's happened is, in this particular time of Earth's history, or human history, Earth is suffering a great deal of overpopulation, and families are limited to only 2 children. If you want a third, you have to go through very, very special guidelines, and you have to prove, you know, all this sort of stuff going on. And okay, so wait, I'll rise that. So you have to prove that you know, you have to go through a whole bunch of approvals and processes and all this other stuff to be granted to have a third child. They didn't explain that in the movie, which is, you know, I thought was actually kind of an important point to have. An important thing is like, okay, well, this is why he's, you know, that's it. But they don't go into any more detail on it at all. It's like, well, they don't go into any detail at all about it, which is kind of odd. I would have thought, well, hang on, wouldn't it be a good idea to establish some backstory here, some foundation, as it were? Let's put some foundations into why things are going the way they're going, and what's going on, and what's happened, and all that lovely stuff. But no, they didn't do any of that, and I'm a bit disappointed, because it's sort of, well, it would have been a much better movie had they explained the way why things were the way they were. The other things they didn't do, to be quite honest, I'm just gonna put it out there, and a lot of people go, but that's what happens when they do movies. No, there are certain things, like a lot of people dislike or don't feel the movies are as good as a book. Well, they aren't. They never will be. There is a reason for that, and that is the fact that when you're reading a book, you are able to visualize it and internalize everything. You're able to picture everything in your mind, and you're able to see everything in your mind. You're able to visualize, say, the space battles that rage on. You're able to visualize and see all that. You're able to visualize the characters form in your head. Now, obviously, your vision is going to be different from my vision. What I see when I read this book is going to be different from what you see, but we'll be able to agree on general plot points and the feelings that are brought forward. But yeah, it's really not. So that's what you're coming up against when you're wanting to do these. When you're wanting to watch these movies, you got to bear in mind. You got to remember that, hey, it's not going to be as good, and the reason behind it is that your vision of the movie is not going to reflect the screenwriters, the person that's writing for the movie. The screenwriter is going to see a different, or have a different vision than you. But things shouldn't. But there are certain things that should not be forgotten and left out. Key points. They've got to, you know. They're still, one of the things that screenwriters need to remember is that they are telling a story, and they are doing a retelling of a story that's already been told, and you have to be careful to match what people have read and basically put in what people are going to want to see. Oops, I went one too far on that one. You can't just throw it in any old way you like. It doesn't work. You've got to remember to keep your key points in place. So establish, but essentially, as I would put it, establish the foundation. You have to establish the foundation. What if I can do marble stairs? No. You have to, you know, that sort of thing has to be established. You can't just come at it willy-nilly like. So another thing that was annoying was, or that I had issue. I can do marble stairs. The other thing that I had issue was the fact that yes, Ender, and when we go to battle school, Ender was given Dragon Army, and he has a battle with Salamander Army, or the previous army that he was in, and Leopard Army. Okay, well that's a bit odd. There's no establishment of why this is happening and what's going on. And they go into this battle as if they've all battled before, that they have worked together before and they have battled together before and they've trained and all that. And they've trained and everything. I was like, whoa, hang on a second. They're fighting as if they've fought for a long time and they know exactly what they're doing and they've practiced, but we don't see any of that sort of thing. We don't see them creating this bond, and we don't see them developing and growing stronger as a unit. We just see Ender going, smacking and getting everybody up, and then meeting at the battle room. Okay, and perform, and you know, and they know exactly what to do. They strategize everything, and it's like, okay, well, hang on. Quoi? There's no, again, to be quite honest, through the whole movie, it is bad storytelling. And one of the things that I have come to the realization of, and the reasoning behind it, is that they tried to compress this entire book that by rights really could quite easily be broken up into two parts. And allow the audience to grow an attachment and a fondness to Ender and empathize with him, and the fact that he was bullied because he was always seen small and weak and fragile and all this other sort of thing. There's it just mind boggles me. And to be quite honest, what should be happening, what I would like to see is, I would like to see, and I reckon they can do it again, if they could do it again, if they really should go back and take another stab at it, but they need to, I mean, they can't do it now, because obviously it's like, well, we've just released this movie, and I go, yeah, and that movie sucked. You've done gone and stuffed up. I'm sorry. You stuffed it. You've completely cocked up there. I'm sorry. Go back. Try again. Yeah. I mean, I do apologise for getting off topic on there. As you've probably seen, is spooky. Once again, great work from the guys at BD Craft, putting this sound pack together. Anyway, let's make a fourth furnace. So I want to smelt down some cobble. And yes, I know I'm using coal. I shouldn't be using coal. I should be saving my coal, but screw you. Put another flower down. Yeah. So as you can see, what I've got going here, we've got our foundation. It's a nice, lovely marble floor. It's so lovely and marbly and white and shiny. I could probably go and hunt down a volcano. We can use basalt for the walls, but I don't really want to do that. I'm thinking stone brick for the moment. And eventually we'll expand this compound out to encompass encompass things. I'm actually, maybe the next time we come back, I'll more than likely have one or two, probably not two mods. I'll probably have the one mod added back in, or added in, that I do enjoy using. It allows me greater freedom when automating certain things, provided that in all honesty, provided that that particular mod is up to date. And as you can see here, we've got a nice little path down to my little mine down there. And then I have another front door entrance, I guess, and out here I'll put, I don't know, I'll probably, I'm sort of playing this by ear at this stage. What have we got here? Oh, portobello mushrooms. How's that? I'm going to put one here. Look at that. Oh, lovely. So yeah, so we're getting a bit, whoops, fall down the mine shaft. We're getting a bit along in the in this episode now, and I'd like to end it here. And yeah, I know I went on a tangent and spoke about Ender's Game. I do apologise for that, but it's something that I'm a little bit peeved off about. Now, most of you are probably thinking, oh, they never do a good movie. Let me break it. I'm going to just leave you with this final thought. Every movie that you've watched that has every movie that you've watched that's come from a book series like Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings, Hunger Games is something fairly recent. Even though they leave quite a chunk of stuff out of the book series and the movies, have you ever felt like it was lacking the important messages? Have you ever felt that it was not quite like there was like important key things were left out? Really, really important key things left out that mucked up the flow of the flow of everything, as it were. So, like, I'm going to use Harry Potter as an example. Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. If they had left out the fact that in that first movie that Harry Potter's parents were killed by Voldemort, had they left that out and they just had this baby hand delivered to his aunt and uncle, that would you and never explained why that happened, you'd be quite pissed. You go, that's a really important thing. We need to know the backstory. Why is this happening to Harry? What's happened? What happened? All these sort of questions that leave you going, what's going on? Lord of the Rings. Again, same thing. Certain important factors were key things that, after watching those movies, did it leave a bad taste in your mouth? Like something wasn't finished. So, let me know what you think about that in the comment sections below. If you think my videos are getting a bit long, let me know and I'll do them a little bit shorter. If you think that I'm stalling or I'm mucking about or whatever, let me know and I'll do more stuff off camera, as it were, and we'll progress that away. So, yeah. Don't forget, I have another Let's Play series happening, the Star Trek Online Legacy of Romulus. I'm playing through the storyline of that. I may do a couple little side missions for leveling up, but please hang around and watch that. So yeah. Like, comment, subscribe, let me know what you think, let me know where I'm going wrong, let me know where I'm going right. I enjoyed constructive criticisms, and I will see you again next time. I'm the NZ Gamer, also known as Angelite85, and I will see you guys around. Have a good one.